I am Heidi Benjaminson, your host of Confidence Coaching, a podcast for mothers who want more connection, calm, and peace. Life isn't a spectator sport. Success comes to those who show up every day with a pocket full of courage, grit, and a little sparkle. I'm glad you're here. Hello. Welcome to episode 142, Defining Our Values. Happy New Year, 2023. I seem to feel a collective desire from everyone to slam shut the door on 2022 and look forward. Look forward to a brighter 2023. Is that what you're feeling? Elements of the past year were very hard for me, but hard in a growing way. Hard in discomfort, not necessarily hard in traumatic or hurtful ways. Change is hard, y'all. I'll be speaking to that in future episodes because it takes confidence to change. And we're all about confidence here on a confidence coaching podcast. I want to jump into today's topic because it's the beginning of the year and I see a lot of setting goals in the media. If you've listened to this podcast in past Januaries, you know I'm not big on New Year's resolutions, mainly because I see most people have lost the fuel or willpower for these goals by the end of January. I see a lot of focus on the end results instead of the process and the new identity we need to assume to reach the goals. I'm a regular at Orange Theory Fitness. And to get into class, you need to reserve a spot on the app. And if the class is full, you can't get in or you'll be on a wait list. Now, all the regulars know that we have to sign up really early these first few weeks of January. But we know it'll be back to normal by February because a lot of us, we don't always stick to doing the things that we say that we need to do for these New Year's goals or resolutions. Sometimes we stop because we've set too many resolutions. Sometimes we stop because we haven't been realistic. Now, I've been one of those. Maybe I'll say I'm going to be a really good budgeter, and then I'll do it for like 3 weeks, and then I'll stop. There are a lot of articles or such out there about how to stick to a program or change your habits. Now, I do love all of that work. I just think the first thing we should do is determine what we value in our life. What are our personal values? Our values exist even if we don't go through a formal process to identify them. They're still there. We feel dissonance or discomfort when we do things against our values, even if it's unconscious. If we value family and we're away from our family working for a few weeks, or maybe we can't be with family on holidays and we're sad, it's okay. This reveals a lack of alignment with our values, and that happens from time to time. Anger can reveal our values. I've been angry at things going on in the world, maybe new laws that have been passed in the last years. That anger has revealed to me what I value. This is work I do with clients. Everything we do should stem from our values. Our choices reflect our values. And if we've identified what these are, we then have an easier time making decisions. We have an easier time saying no to things or people that don't reinforce these values. And we say yes with more intention and passion to what and who is in line with our values. Because life is full of good, better, and best options. And knowing our values helps us always choose what is best for us. Here are a few questions to ask yourself to help you dig under your very good qualities and see what values are lying below them. Think back to times when you were happiest. What were you doing? Who were you with? What was contributing to this happiness? One of the happiest weeks of my life was with my extended family at a beach house on the coast of North Carolina. I can see how that week represented several of my core values: connection, family, kindness, health, beauty. Think of times when you've been really proud. What were you doing or celebrating? What was contributing to this feeling? I've been so proud recently of my sons graduating from high school, being so brave to go to college. I've been proud of me building my business, this podcast. This week, I went to my 900th class at Orange Theory. I'm proud of my dependability and dedication to my health. This reveals two of my values. I value the time I've dedicated to my family, so it makes sense I'm proud of my children's accomplishments. I've been incredibly proud of myself when I've treated people with kindness and given them grace when I know in the past I would have said something rude or passed judgment or felt superior. I know 20 years ago I would not have chosen grace or kindness as values, but now those are words that emerge as strong values guiding my life and who I want to be. Now ask, like I mentioned before, when have you been very angry or upset? What was going on? What do you feel was being violated? What did you fear might happen? What was contributing to this anger? We get angry and defensive when we feel something at our core is being attacked. Now, you can look up how you spend your money. This reveals our values. My husband and I are spending to create a home our family want to spend time in. It reflects our value of family and connection. Maybe your money and investments reveal that you value risk or wealth or adventure. All of those things are great things. I recommend you do a quick Google search with a list of values. Find one that lists at least 100 possible values. I give my clients 3 pages of single-spaced double columns of words. Highlight or write all the words that pop out to you with meaning. You'll probably highlight like 20 to 30 or so. You're going to think of all the values as really good and positive things, maybe quality traits that you do have. That isn't enough, though, to be a value. Don't think it's a bad thing that you don't pick something as a value. I'll mention here that I think freedom and community and alertness and teamwork, just to mention a few, they're all important qualities, but those are examples of words that I did not pick as my values. We want the words to be personal to us. The words you pick should evoke a feeling inside you. They should move you. When we see or hear the words, we want to think of our soul as being made of the thread of these values. Now group words together that are similar in meaning or similar in the feeling that they evoke inside you. I circled about 30 words. These words that were meaningful to me that can all be grouped together are something like dependability, decisiveness, hard work, excellence, capability, smart. These words all seem to represent a similar value and attribute. High-level categories that you could divide all of your words into might be integrity and feelings and achievement and intelligence and strength and enjoyment. Now, you're going to see your groupings. Try to narrow it down now to 3 or 4 values. This is easier to do, again, if you've grouped them earlier, because you'll see the common threads. Let me remind you of something. Just because you're leaving a word off the list does not mean that you do not believe this is an important quality. It just means it doesn't resonate now with you as being a guiding value. For example, I know in decades past, I would have had excellence as a core value. That's a word that meant more to me when I was in school and working in the corporate world. But especially as I dismantle my perfectionism and feelings of superiority, I don't like how that word always makes me feel inside. Do I strive for excellence? Well, yes, maybe. But I see so much more gray area in the world. I see excellence as being much more subjective quality. But I'm still an excellent person doing excellent work. I didn't choose the word discovery as a value, but I highly seek to learn new things, to be curious. Right now, I don't value discovery over values such as family and connection and grace. I think it's good to step away from the list for a day or two, then revisit it. Do you want to switch out any words? Do the values represent what is essential in your life, to your primary way of being? Do these words and values support your inner self? Notice we aren't defining how other people think of us or who likes us or what we need to get done this year. We're defining who we are. We're defining what matters most or above all else. I want to give you a few examples of how knowing what matters most, your deep values, helps you make decisions and be the person you most want to be. Because there are going to be some times one value will need to stack higher than another value. Picture me putting one hand on top of another, that type of stacking. I really value being dependable and reliable. If I say I'm going to do something, I am going to go to all lengths to do it. And I value being capable. Often I'm asked to do things, and if I knew I could do it, well, I'd just say yes. I was asked to participate in school councils and groups. What happened, though, was I spread myself too thin years ago, and these values were costing me family time and peace, which at the time I stacked higher than the capability value. I started asking myself, well, you can do that thing, but should you? What will it cost you? Can you still be reliable to yourself and your children if you say yes? I was able to see how at the time I needed to stack my value of family and integrity and peace above the value of being dependable and reliable. I greatly value my health. It's a priority to me. Knowing how important this is helps me prioritize where we spend money, how I spend my time, how much sleep I get. Knowing this value makes it easy to buy good quality running shoes. It makes it easier to narrow down new homes. I wanted access to gyms I like and walking trails. One deep value of my husband and mine is family. We made sure we live by a larger airport for access for others to visit us and for us to travel. As I mentioned earlier, I really value being consistent, dependable. For 3 years, I consistently published podcast episodes. Then the activities of moving and helping my family, they became consuming. My value of health, mental and physical, as well as my value of being a kind, loving mother who isn't living in chaos, that's stacked higher than my value of weekly episodes. Consistency and dependability are not more important than kindness and love. I got to practice giving myself grace and space to focus on what matters most to me. Now, it's not always easy to make decisions in line with our values. It may mean other people are disappointed. We may say no to things or people or events and people we love and respect, and they might not understand these decisions. It's important, though, that we are guided by our values. Remember, no one else gets to define who we are. This practice helps us go internal so we create our own identity, so we define ourselves. So our actions represent our values, not the values of everyone else around us. And it's okay that your values change and grow as you change and grow. I like to zoom out of my life and see it as a quilt with many different squares. Each square has different priorities. I've changed and grown. Life experiences have given me wisdom. I have very different opinions today than I did 20 or 30 years ago. I want to be someone who can expand. So revisiting values is important to make sure that we're acting in the integrity of our newly acquired life wisdom. So back to how we started today, talking about goals that you may be making at the new year. Do those goals reflect the values that you now see as your core values? If you achieve this goal, is it going to reinforce your identity? And please don't feel pressure to set new resolutions and goals now if you're feeling it isn't the right time. Every day is a great day to change. And set a goal if you want to. At the same time, don't put off change or discomfort. Make changes now if you aren't living in integrity with who you want to be. That's it for this week. If you would like personalized weekly private one-on-one coaching to give your own family the gift of your confidence, sign up for a consult call at HeidiBenjaminson.com. A confident mother is the greatest gift to her family, not a perfect mother. Our families want us to feel confident, anchored, and calm. I can help you uncover this version of yourself. Have a great week.